How's it going, everybody? It is Yveltal. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle versus Omar over here in the UBERS tier. So this team I'm using is made by Frozy Time. Really cool team with Lugia's Z Tailwind and Aeroblast, Calm Mind, and Ice Beam. But it's not gonna lie, it does get a little bit haxed here and there every time I use it. But I did get some good games with it in Pokemon Showdown, so it was pretty fun. Nice little I guess gimmick that you can try out. Though Deancy's gonna be a little bit of a problem for it since Deancy doesn't really take much from Aeroblast. But at least if I can get a critical hit maybe with Ice Beam, that could be nice since Z Tailwind does raise your critical hit ratio. I think it's just like a focus energy. So anyways, lead off with my specialty defensive Groudon. Pretty much all around great lead. If he wants to lead off with Deancy, that could be annoying with Earth Power, but I should be able to take one and maybe go for some Blades and knock it out. But he leads off with Genesect. I think that's the Douse Drive. Could be Chill Drive too. But anyways, he's shiny, so I'm thinking he's physical because usually if they're shiny, they have extreme speed. Because that's, I'm pretty sure, how the only way you can have an extreme speed Genesect, and the only reason you'd really want a shiny Genesect is because of the events with extreme speed. So I'm guessing he's like gonna be maybe Bandit or even Scarf. He could though be maybe even Specs. I've seen Specs Genesect, but usually if they're Specs, they have like the regular Techno Blast. Just normal, and it does a decent amount, not gonna lie, because it's a pretty strong move. But yeah, he just U-turns out. I guess he predicts me to go for a fire move right there, but I'm just gonna get my Stealth Rocks up as he brings in the Primal Kyogre, and I do have a pretty good switch into this, unless he predicts me to switch out and goes for a Thunder. But I have Arceus-Water. He doesn't know I have Arceus-Water, but he could maybe predict it since I use Arceus-Water a lot. But I will just switch right out back into Primal Groudon once Arceus-Water's in. Plus, I'm pretty sure I could take one Thunder, since Arceus-Water is a pretty bulky monster. Unless he gets like a crit or something like that, or Paralyzed, that could suck. Because then he could probably outspeed me if Yveltal if he's not max speed or not Choice Scarf. And just everything really. And I can't really recover off a lot of moves. And keep my Arceus, and plus the 25% chance to get Paralyzed sucks. But yeah, he just goes straight for the Thunder, and that's pretty good for me. Usually Kyogres just like to attack what's right in front of them, unless they click Ice Beam predicting Primal Groudon and want to come out, or they have Earthquake. Sometimes Kyogres like to have Earthquake, but luckily he's just clicking what's in front of him. So he switches out in Yveltal. I could have predicted that, but I felt like making the safe play, just an off chance maybe he does want to go for like Ice Beam or something like that. And also it's just I predict him to probably go for a U-turn Yveltal over here, as he just clicks Oblivion Wing and gets a critical hit, which is pretty unfortunate. I thought he would predict me to switch out into Xerneas, and then he can get some momentum with the U-turn, but unfortunately that is not the case, because he does have, you know, pretty good switch-ins, not gonna lie, to my Xerneas. I don't really have a good switch into Yveltal though, so unfortunately he does Dark Pulse me right there, so he's not Choice Scarf, which is good information, and he turns out to be Rocky Helmet after I go for a Fire Punch, because I was like, alright, he's staying in. So now I'm going to switch out, and hopefully he just goes for a Dark Pulse so that I don't have to take as much damage as I switch into Xerneas over here. But unfortunately I think he just goes for the Oblivion Wing if I'm correct, and does a decent amount of HP to me. But it's not a 2-hit KO, and also I am running a Choice Scarf Xerneas, so maybe I can catch him off guard with that. Because usually Xerneas that are Geomancy don't like to run max speed, they like modest and a lot of HP, and sometimes Yveltal might be max speed, but since he's Rocky Helmet I'm thinking he's just like defensive. But I'm just going to throw off the Moonblast, and he actually just like sacks his Yveltal right there, which is pretty dang awesome. I guess he wasn't expecting me to be faster. Also, I think he said that he didn't want me to go for Geomancy, so that's why he stayed in. He wanted to like attack me or something like that, I don't know. But Yveltal doesn't really do too much either way to Xerneas. I mean, I guess before the initial Geomancy, it could do some type of damage, but yeah, he brings in Groudon, which is usually should be the switch-in if that is Fadef Groudon with Roar or something like that. You don't want to just sack your Yveltal because you never really know Xerneas could be Choice Scarf. So now I'm pretty much forced to switch out because I'm locked in a Moonblast and I can't really touch this thing at all. I do have Arceus-Water, which is a pretty good switch into the Groudon. I can go for like a Toxic, or I could also maybe even go into my Lugia if it's not like an offensive Groudon, because then maybe I can Z Tailwind up and Calm Mind up, unless he's Roar, which could just like phase me out. But he just gets his rocks up, which kind of sucks because I do want to preserve my Multiscale with Lugia. That's a little downside about Lugia's ability. If I do have the Multiscale, I could pretty much Z Tailwind up on anything really and just go for some Calm Minds and just break through something. So he goes for the Blades right there, does some beautiful damage, and now he switches out. So I guess he's not wanting to take a Toxic, or he just is too scared to maybe hit another Blades. But he actually goes in a Genesect, so I guess that does cover a Toxic right there, or even an Ice Beam. And also, I'm pretty sure I missed a Toxic right there, so I just go for a recover to get some more HP back, and also to hope that he misses a Blades, and he does not do that. He just switches right into Genesect, like I said. So I'm just going to go for another recover, and hope that Genesect cannot do as much damage to maybe knock me out in 2 hits, but he just goes straight for the U-turn, so that's good for me. And looks to be not choice, maybe choice specs with U-turn, I'm not too sure. Because choice banner would do a little bit more, and Scarf would have been able to outspeed me, so not too sure. Plus, Yveltal Rocky Helmet is kind of interesting with Dark Pulse and the Oblivion Wing. But in comes the Each Slash, my boy, and I'm just going to go right into my defensive Yveltal with Foul Play. Very, very nice. Able to just foul play a lot of these Swords Dance Mons, and also Necrozmas as well, and maybe take a hit from a Necrozma. Unless you run into those Ultra Necrozmas with Calm Mind Power Gem. Because Necrozma is one of those Pokemon that can literally run everything, and it's just a threat. Because you never really can predict what it is until you find out what it's going for right in front of your face. But luckily he doesn't have that, so he just goes for the King Shield as I go for the Foul Play. That does lower my attack by 2, but Foul Play does not care about your attack, really. It cares about the opponent's attack, and since he's +2 attack, it's going to do some big boy damage, and I think Omar forgot about that. I'm pretty sure, because he stays in over here thinking that Foul Play will probably not do enough, but it's going to want to KO the Each Slash, even in the shield form, so it's pretty awesome for me. Now, kids, remember, Foul Play does that. Cares about the opponent's attack stat, not your attack stat, so he probably just herped derped right there and forgot. So, and plus he has a pretty good switch into a Foul Play, which is Kyogre, unless it's a physical attacking Kyogre, which would do a chunk, like Earthquake. But now in comes that Kyogre, and I don't want to stay in with Yveltal, even though Yveltal did pretty good work against that Each Slash, but could do some more work later on. So I'm going to switch into my Groudon, since Groudon is like pretty much gone. It's at 13 HP, I don't think it's going to do much, and also it's just a sack fodder really. That's why I wanted to keep as well. It's always good to have a sack fodder. Just in case you just want to sack something and maybe you can't get a defog off. So, Xerneas just threw off an Ice Beam, probably predicted me to go into, I mean, I guess not really predict. It hits the Yveltal for super effective damage. And also, I guess hits the Lugia, but I'd rather go for maybe a Thunder, because I can hit my Arceus-Water. But anyways, I just throw off a Thunder with Xerneas, just an off chance he wants to stay in, but he makes a nice play going into Groudon right there. Now, you might be wondering why didn't I just Moonblast, because, well, obviously, I want to keep my Xerneas, just an off chance he does stay in. But Groudon is pretty obvious to come in on Xerneas, since it's a relatively good switch-in. But I also want to go to my Arceus-Water, which is a free switch into Groudon, and then try and get a Defog off to get rid of the rocks, and then maybe go into Lugia so that I can see Tailwind, because I do want to try and show off Lugia a little bit and try and go for some Aeroblast here and there. So he just goes straight for the Blades. Doesn't do enough because Arceus-Water is always going to pretty much switch in on the Primal Groudons. Unless it's Swords Dance, got to watch out for that. Swords Dance Primal Groudon, which I actually do like to run a lot because it just breaks through things. And unfortunately he misses a Blaze right there, so now I go for a Toxic to pretty much put him on a timer. And I think I just go for a Defog next, just to get rid of rocks. And he might be forced to just keep clicking Stealth Rocks if he really wants that, but I don't know if it'll be worth it. He goes for another Blades and unfortunately misses right there. So that's why sometimes Earthquake is really nice, but Blades does do more damage. So gonna go for the Defog, even though I do defog my own rocks away. Like I said, I want to preserve the multi-skill, so maybe I could set up on Groudon. And also, getting a Toxic off is really nice because then I don't have to really attack the ground with my Lugia. I can just go start Calm Minding up, and then the Toxic will knock it out. So it goes for Blades right there, does some decent amount. Could recover over here if I really wanted to. Keep my Arceus-Water healthy and in the game, so that's exactly what I do. Because maybe it can take a hit here and there, possibly from a Kyogre with Thunder. And I could maybe get a Toxic off on that. So he goes for Overheat right there. Maybe expecting me to switch out into one of my flying types, like Lugia or Yveltal, but unfortunately I stay in, so Toxic is racking up, so maybe he's wanting to switch out over here, because the next Toxic is going to do a lot, so he does switch out into, I think, Kyogre, pretty sure, and then I get a Toxic off on it, Yeah, Kyogre. And he probably just wants to throw off a Thunder on me, which is totally fine, to be honest. Even though I can't really set up on a Lugia, not Lugia, a Kyogre with Lugia, since Thunder will do too much, and it has a 30% chance to paralyze me. So, yeah, it's just not going to work out. But, yeah, just go for a cover right there. Get some more HP. And also, I just want to get a Toxic off on this Kyogre. Just put it on a timer as well. Because Toxic everything in UBERS is pretty much how you get rid of Pokemon in UBERS. Like, Toxic pretty much everything, because they're so fat and so bulky. They usually don't get one shot, unless you're running some hyper offense, really. Then it's a lot easier. Or some webs offense, that's fun. I have some webs teams that I want to try out in UBERS. Mainly, you tried it on Showdown. I haven't really got a lot of Uber Wi-Fi battles lately, which is totally fine, because a lot of people are starting to get into the lower tiers against me, which is awesome. Like, I've been getting a lot of Monotype as well. I like Monotype. The next Monotype upload is going to be nice. But, yeah, just going to go for recovers and hope that Toxic can rack up a little bit. But, unfortunately, Thunder knocks me out after recovering. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. So, Toxic did some decent damage right there. And now I'm just going to Xerneas to maybe bait in the Groudon as I go for a Thunder, hoping that Groudon will come out. And then I can maybe go into Lugia and then go for the Tailwind, as he might go for Blades and hopefully not go for Overheats. Even though Overheat won't do too much with Multiscale. So that's exactly what he does. He switches out to Kyogre into Groudon. Go to Moonblast it again, but, you know, like I said, I want Groudon out. And I don't really want to knock out Groudon too, because I think 2 Moonblasts plus the Toxic damage will knock it out, probably. Since Xerneas is a strong monster. So, Groudon gets hurt by the poison right there. That Desolate land is shining bright. And it always makes the dang such a lag, but it's okay. It doesn't lag too much. At least it's doable. So, in comes Lugia as he throws off the Overheat, and he critical hits me, I'm pretty sure. And, yeah, that does a lot of damage. And, unfortunately, he does lower his special attack by 2, but the next Overheat might be able to knock me out, so I was like, alright, whatever, I'll just get a Tailwind up for the rest of my mons. Maybe I'll need it, I don't know. So, that's exactly what I do, and I just wanted to show it off as well. Because it does some decent damage, not gonna lie, with the critical hit Aeroblast. Even though PP kind of runs shorts, since I'm pretty sure it's only 8 PP, but you gotta make it work. And there's only 6 Pokemon on a team, so gotta crit them all, huh? Unless they're gonna resist it, then they probably will live. So he actually throws off a Hidden Power Ice right there. Pretty sure it's a Hidden Power Ice because hits Zygardes and, you know, I guess other ground types that are so 4 times weak to it, or other dragons like Salamence as well, so. Luckily I lived that, and now I go for the Calm Mind, and hoping that maybe he does not go for Overheat and knock me out, since it's in the sun and it hurts a lot. But he does go for Overheat, and but I live on 1 HP, which is like, oh my god, Lugia, thank the Lord. But Groudon does get knocked out right there by the Toxic, but unfortunately he's gonna bring in his dang Genesect, and you know what Genesect that shiny has in its move slots? Has that extreme speed. And if I didn't get critical hit it on the switch in, then I probably would have got some nice Aeroblast on some Mons over here and there. So unfortunately Lugia just set up the Tailwind, Calm-Minded up, and just went down. And pretty much just like Groudon got knocked out by the Toxic, so Lugia did absolutely nothing. Unfortunate. But I swear it does something. I swear it does something on Pokemon Showdown. You can use it on that. So anyways, I just go into Yveltal, just going to throw off a Foul Play because it'll do a chunk to the Genesect, and I'm actually faster than a Genesect, which is just odd. Not too sure why, but hey, I'll take it because I am running a max defense Yveltal. I don't know, maybe he just got that Genesect from Wonder Trade, I don't know. But it's whatever. So in comes Diancie. It's probably just going to be Mega and just wants to like maybe Moonblast me or Diamond Storm me or Power Gem me, and it should be able to outspeed me, and I just stay in because I don't really need Yveltal anymore. Pretty much doesn't do much at all, and I think he gets the defense boost with his Diancie, and that's kind of scary with the Diamond Storm after he knocks my Yveltal out. I think actually, does Yveltal live this? Because it's max defense, it should live it, yeah. I think I do live it. He gets, I think, the +2 right there, which is terrifying because then Marshadow's close combats might not do enough, but I still go into it after the Foul Play because I was like, yeah, whatever. If it happens, it happens. Even though I think the right play would have been to go into Xerneas and Moonblast. And then if Xerneas cannot knock out the last Pokemon, which is Kyogre, then Marshadow should be able to knock it out with close combat. Because if I lose Marshadow to the Diancie, then Xerneas would probably have to be locked into Thunder to knock out Kyogre, and then I have to hit a Thunder on the Diancie. But I don't even care. I just go random Marshadow, like a madman, a mad lad, and I just go straight for the close combat and actually knocks it out at +2 defense. So I'm like, wow, not bad, Marshadow. It's a Life Orb though, so I guess oh, I got a crit. That's why. I actually didn't see that. So that's probably why he got knocked out. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't calculate. Well, who cares really? So. Last mon is Kyogre, and I'm just gonna go for the CC because what I would have done is maybe just have to click Thunder right there and hope that I can hit the Diancie. Then Thunder should be able to knock out Kyogre in the rain, because I don't think Moonblast will knock out Kyogre from that range because it has some pretty good special defense. So down goes the Kyogre to the clearest combat from Marshadow, and unfortunately Lugia did absolutely nothing. But maybe there's hope. Maybe there's a way that Lugia can do something in the next game. Versus Wolf, I think. Pretty sure. No, Kevon. His name is Wolf or something on YouTube. So, Kevon over here got Excadrill and Lunala. I have some Lunala teams, that's cool. And then Magearna, good switching for Zern. Ho-Oh, which is scary. The Burbs, Yveltal and Ho-Oh, those two beautiful Burbs. And then Xerneas. Alright, let's jump right into it. I'm thinking the Excadrill is going to be like lead rocks. And then Lunala might be Z-move. And maybe Ho-Oh's bulky. Maybe the Yveltal could be bulky with Defog, because yeah, you want to have a Defogger, but at the same time he has the Excadrill with Rapid Spin probably. So I don't want to lead off with Marshadow because Marshadow can possibly threaten out the Excadrill if it is like not Focus Sash. But I just want to go for a Spectral Thief just to see if he's going to stay in, because I don't want to go for close combats and lower my defenses. But he actually switched down to Lunala, and I'm like, whoa, okay, then that's a perfect turn for me. I just get a nice Spectral Thief on that. I guess he was expecting me to click close combat right there. But, yeah, that thing just gets one-shot, even through Shadow Shield. 4 times weak to it, too. So, yeah, Lunala is not really a good switch, and you should just wait until Yveltal, to be honest. But I guess he predicted close combat right there. Maybe he got 2 killed by close combat, so it makes sense. But I'm not going to stay in on Yveltal, because I don't know if it's Choice Scarf. I feel like it's not, because he should just went to it if he was. But maybe he thought I was banded, and it'll just do so much damage to him. But I go into Xerneas over here as he goes for the Oblivion Wing, does a decent chunk, and I do believe I just throw off a Hidden Power Fire, predict him to want to switch out because he has a pretty good switch in, which is the Magearna. Now if I'm predicting Magearna, then I should just go into Primal Groudon, but I want to see what kind of Magearna he is. They usually just Spadef, but maybe he's like Shift Key or maybe Z-move, I don't know. Just to see, because you never really know. Like that Corsola I just saw in the background. But yeah, that does absolutely 0. It's not Leftovers though, so it makes me wonder. Is it a Soul Vest? I feel like a Soul Vest would take a lot less though. So, gotta switch out into Groudon. Groudon usually is like really good switching to a Magearna and UBERS, since Magearna really doesn't have much for hitting Groudon. Like Volt Switch not gonna work since I'm a ground type. Flare Cannon does absolutely 0, and Flash Cannon does absolutely 0. Usually they have like Pain Split, Heart Swap, and maybe even Heal Bell I've seen before. And it's usually just Flare Cannon or Flash Cannon. So he just throws out the Flash Cannon right there, and I got the Desolate land up in this underwater terrain, and I think I just throw off my rocks, pretty sure, since I want to get rocks up. I mean, when is rocks never the play really in a Pokemon battle? I just saw Chinchou. Wow, I never really paid attention to the background in this underwater place. I'm seeing these Pokemon, but yeah, actually I throw off a Fire Punch. Okay, cool. So I predict the Excadrill right there, but yeah, that makes sense. He is Focus Sash as well, because Excadrill can just Rapid Spin if I get the rocks up, and then Earthquake will do a lot of damage to me as well. So he does go straight for the Earthquake as I just fire off a Fire Punch, I'm pretty sure, and knock out the Excadrill. So I guess rocks are not the play when they have an Excadrill that hasn't been broken by the Sash, because if it was Sash broken, or if I knew it wasn't Sash, then I would have just got rocks up and maybe just Fire Punch the Excadrill next. Because I don't want that thing coming in for free. So that's why. Because let's just guys saw how much that Earthquake did. I did a lot. But luckily it doesn't knock me out because I'm a Groudon. So then comes Yveltal over here. I'm going to switch out into pretty much a Xerneas. And hopefully catch him off guard by my Xerneas. And hope that he is not going to be a Choice Scarf Yveltal with Oblivion Wing. That's pretty much my bet. Which I hope he's not. So he just goes for the Oblivion Wing over here. And if he is, I think it's a Speed Tie, I'm pretty sure, if it is. So I was willing to risk it. He could be Modest though, because Yveltal do like to run Modest, and it's pretty much common to run Modest Yveltal, but Max Speed Yveltal is pretty nice as well. But luckily, he gets caught off guard by that Moonblast right there, so maybe he was Choice Scarf modest, and he was like, alright, I could just knock him out with the Blue Wing. But unfortunately, I caught him off guard. And he should have just won his Magearna, but since I showed him that I predicted Magearna last time, he probably expected me to predict him again. So we gotta switch up our playstyle mid-game. But in comes the Xerneas. I predicted to just go for a Geomancy, so I'm just gonna go for a Moonblast to do some nice, beautiful damage to it, and then maybe go into Groudon and just do some big boy damage with my Sped F Groudon. So he does just go for the Geomancy right there, and the Power Herb is gonna activate and allow him to just get it in one turn. The broken Xerneas, but not too broken, since there's a lot of good Pokemon that can potentially stop it from sweeping, like Primal Groudon and Magearna, so it's just a really easy sweeper, though, if those Pokemon get weakened. And also Necrozma. Necrozma's really good for the Xerneases. So, over here, I'm just going to sack my Xerneas, since it doesn't really do too much against the rest of his team. He has Magearna. I knocked out the Yveltal, which I was really hoping that could happen. If he still had Yveltal, then maybe I would keep Xerneas around. And now I actually go into Lugia over here instead of Groudon, because I want to Z-Tailwind up. And I should be hopefully faster than a Xerneas, unless he's running a lot of speed on the Xerneas, but I feel like he should be running bulk on it. So he Moonblasted me right there, and unfortunately critical hits me. And gets special attack drop. So, 2 times, Lugia got critical hitted on the Multiscale as I wanted to try and go for the Z-Tailwind. So what the heck is this? I'm trying to get the critical hits, not you! I am! Why you keep critical hitting me? It's okay though. Maybe I'll try this team out again and hope that I don't get critical hit. This is just karma. But yeah, he outspeeds me either way, so I guess it didn't really matter, because as long as he broke the Multiscale, the +2 special attack should be able to just knock me out. Even if I got a little bit of chip damage, because that's a Xerneas. So now I go to Marshadow over here, and I believe I just throw off a Spectral Thief, because the Tailwind is up, and I guess he forgot about that. And Marshadow should be able to outspeed the Xerneas at +2 speed, since Tailwind is +2 speed. So luckily Tailwind does catch people off guard, and they always forget about it sometimes, because I'm pretty sure it only shows up when you click my Pokemon on the bottom screen, but not their Pokemon. So that's really nice. And it doesn't have any indication on the screen as well, like no wind is flowing through, like weather. So that's really nice. So in comes the Ho-Oh, and I have a beautiful move for Ho-Oh. It's called Rockton. And with Technician, it's going to do some big boy damage. That's a lot of damage. And we just one-hit KO the Ho-Oh, even though I did get that. It's +2 special attack, +2 special defense, and +2 speed. Marshadow is really, really strong with special attack, but I don't have any special attacking moves, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, Marshadow just goes for a close combat. Should be able to knock out Magearna since they run Spadef. And even if it doesn't, the special defense should make me live maybe 1 hit from Flurrican. I don't know, probably not, since Flurrican is so strong. But yeah, Marshadow with the clean knockouts, and that's GG to Kevon. So yeah, unfortunately Lugia got a little bit hacked right there, but hey, it's Pokemon, what can you do? So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, do your thing. And common question of the day is, what is the worst time you guys got hacked? Or also, are you guys going to watch Worlds as well? 2 questions. Are you guys going to watch Worlds this weekend for Pokemon VGC 2018? I'm probably going to watch it, so I'll see if you guys watch it. Maybe we can watch it together. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. So I'll see you guys next video. Peace, peace.